kettle chips. It all awaits you at your local Big John Steak and Onion.
Imagine creating the future you want with the help of CareerQuest. Our business programs can prepare you for the workplace in just 8 months with hands-on training. You'll learn the most popular business software programs, as well as professional communication and project management. And with blended learning, you attend campus just 2 days a week and complete your studies online on your schedule. CareerQuest. Imagine the possibilities.
Do you want a truck that does one thing?
Hi, William.
Or a truck that does them all? A truck that's skilled enough to be all-seeing. Smart enough to be all-knowing. Strong enough to be all-powerful. The all-new Ram 1500. Motor Trend's 2019 Truck of the Year. Come in now during Ram Truck Month.
Or well-qualified returning lessees get a low mileage lease on the 2019 Ram 1500 for $309 a month.
March 8th and 9th, Big Legends and Big Air coming to Michigan. The toughest buster truck tour returns to the Dow Event Center with the legendary Prequels, the iconic truck Dragon Slayer, Big Air, Quad Chaos, Wheelie King, Dirt Crew, and more. Featuring an old school car crush. Free pit passes are available at Team 1 Credit Union and Instaloo. Plus, discounted family 4-packs are also available. The toughest buster truck tour, March 8th and 9th, the Dow Event Center.
My name is Barry Allen, and I am the fastest man alive. To the outside world, I'm an ordinary forensic scientist. But secretly, with the help of my friends at Starlab,
What's up, people?
find out management like me. But when my daughter came back from the future to help, she changed the present. And now our world is more dangerous than ever. And I'm the only one fast enough to save it. I am the Flash. Previously on the Flash.
So what are you going to do with him? I think our time would be better served learning how to cure him. You should really talk to Dr. Lambkin. Grodd's attacking him psychically. He's paralyzed.
We can make a meta-human cure. There's got to be something we can do outside the box.
You shouldn't go to your office. Not right now. Why?
How many times has this happened?
52.
If I want to stop Cicada, I can't be so precious about getting Flash's hands dirty. Sometimes the ends justify the means. I get that now. Ladies and gentlemen, we finally have our hands on the meta-human cure. Cool. It's not like I spent weeks in the frozen tundra or anything.
No. I think that just people are waiting for the inevitable but that follows such a big statement.
No, it's done. And thanks to Caitlin, we even have a way to deliver our silver bullet, so no buts.
I believe there's a
No
big
butts.
but coming.
But
Except for
we
my butt.
need to test the cure on a metahuman.
Well, there it is.
What we need is to save the metas. That's
What's
the
up,
biggest problem,
everybody?
Because he's not going to stop killing innocent people.
Is the cure dangerous? Well, it's an untested serum that alters biology on a cellular level, so until we try it out on someone, we have no way of knowing.
When we started working on the cure, we decided that it would always be a choice, not a weapon, so all we need is a volunteer.
Well, there's quite the conundrum, right? A metahuman volunteer when the metahumans in this city have been chased away by us or killed by Cicada or incarcerated at Iron Heights prison, so
Nobody from either group is going to volunteer.
no, these criminals are not going to relinquish their powers, although,
There's gotta be somebody somewhere.
yes, on another Earth.
Probably
I'll
Grodd.
call Harry, see if there's
Although-
anybody from Earth 2 who wants to volunteer.
Yes.
Not really what
Although
I was
I'd love to see
suggesting.
King Shark win.
Hold on, you don't have to call Harry.
But why not?
Because there's already a meta here from Earth 2. One who might not want his powers. Although it might be pretty difficult to talk to him.
King Shark. You really think you can cure him? That's the idea.
Oh, this is, my daughter, Nora.
You're Your daughter?
Yeah.
I'm from the future, I'm guessing. Weird, right? No weirder than waking up one day to find out that your son used to be your daughter. So, why King Shark?
Dark matter levels vary from metahuman to metahuman, but Shay Lambton's case is the most extreme we've seen. So we think if we can reverse the effects of a high-level mutation like his,
You can help all metahumans.
Look, we know King Shark has limited speech, but we're wondering, could we try and talk to him? If we're gonna do this, we're gonna need his permission.
Well, you're in luck, Cisco. Lately, he's been quite talkative.
look at these pictures. So peaceful. So beautiful.
Isn't this the one that Joe comes in?
So peaceful.
There he is, right there.
It is, isn't it?
Return of Joe.
I never understood why Wally went there. Now I do.
Well, it makes me wonder. I mean, is my baby brother ever coming back from Tibet?
Well, all I can say is that he is more at ease than he has ever been. And if that means he wants to stay away from the crazy that is Central City, then, you know what, so be it.
Well, I'm glad that you're back, Tim.
We're all glad that you're back.
We are.
Even Captain Singh glad that you're back.
Okay.
No, you will not. You will not. You have been on crying baby duty for far too long, Joe West. So happy you're back.
All right.
Are we ever going to talk about this couch you bought?
Another day, Joe. Another day. Very expensive.
I mean, it's nice. Listen, so Cecile has brought me up to speed. Cicada. Been very busy.
Yeah. Well, you know, Team Flash will figure out a way to beat him.
But Jonesy was helping right under our nose. And that got me to thinking, Cicada's eluded capture for so long that I'm thinking that he's still getting help from somebody.
I want more coffee. I'm gonna make some more coffee. Yeah, I'll bring you a fresh cup. Normally we don't bring in outside help, but we got wind that the top ichthyologist in the country was doing research on cases just like King Shark's. Actually, I think you may know her.
Dr. Landon? Are you working for Argus now?
Couldn't say no. And please, call me Tanya. What about Nautilus Laboratories? Director Michaels offered me the opportunity to work with another Shay Lambton, one afflicted with the same dark matter anomaly as my late husband. Only this Shay's system was causing his neural pathways to regress. I'm teaching him how to communicate effectively.
Are you saying his mind is becoming more shark-like?
It was, but not anymore. I stopped the regression of King Shark's mind using a cerebral interface that stimulates his neural outputs. I call it a telepathic crown.
Kind of like the Mad 2.0 we built. That's brilliant.
My husband, the Shay Lambton of Earth 1, was a wonderful man. Now I have the chance to help another Earth's Shay Lambton by giving him back his human mind. And since Shay's current state requires him to be in the water more, these earbuds allow me to hear him underwater and vice versa.
The telepathic crown allows Tanya to get through to King Shark and curb his violent behavior.
Can we use the crown to talk to him? Yes, but why?
We think we can make him human again.
It's taken a lot of work, but we think we figured out a way to transform dark matter-infused cells back to the non-meta state.
Now all we need to do is test it. So we came looking for a volunteer.
No, I didn't. I had
That could
some.
really work.
I had a piece of cheese falling out on my shirt.
Shay, a team from
Stretchy
Star Labs
cheese.
is here. They have something you may want. A Medicare for your condition. Trust me, their preliminary analysis on reversing metagene transfigurations proves there is a strong chance it could work, especially in ichthyological prospects. I'm not just showing off. It's their research. Shay has a wonderful sense of humor.
Something's weird with her.
We're supposed to call him King Shark or Shay.
Yes, I'm still here. Uh-huh. I agree.
shark, doo 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 doo. King of the shark, doo 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 doo. King of the shark.
Nice.
Where do we begin?
Every available soldier at the aquarium now!
I'm fine.
Well, so much for that.
The Flash is brought to you in part by...
What's up, everybody? Welcome to We Watch the Flash live with you. Good to see everybody. Isaac's making some food right now. He'll be in here in a second. So we've already established that I did not eat a booger.
Yeah. You had cheese in your beard, fell on your
cheese
shirt,
on
you
my
picked it
beard,
up.
fell
Don't wanna
on my
waste.
shirt, and yes, I did eat a piece of cheese off my shirt, but it was not a booger off my nose.
But when you only have 3 ounces, you want to make sure you get every last bit.
That's right.
One thing I find funny about this is that even though they're going to Argus for King Shark, because that's where he is, on Arrow they never talk about them having King Shark at Argus.
Soy-based Jeremy just said, I only watched 1 episode. Holy cow.
One episode of The Flash? After all, I am. It could have been a glitch. After all, I am soy-based. That's true. Well, of course he likes to bet, because that's the way they're writing it. Got to get him off the show somehow, right?
Jordan, not yet, no.
Oh, and Tiff, it's not Yay Joe. It's Yojo.
No, I'm Yay Joe, because he's back.
Yay Joe. Yay Joe. Da, da, da. Let's see anything else. What's going on? I think Gorilla Grodd's gonna have to win because it's Gorilla Grodd, but
I'd rather have King Shark.
in the end it'd probably be a draw.
Yeah.
I'd rather King Shark win though.
I say Grodd because he has the telepathic powers and also
Did you see
strength.
the thing that King Shark was wearing?
No. I saw he came out of
That
the
little
water.
thing on his head he pulled off.
Well, at the beginning it showed that Grodd was wearing that.
Yeah, so he can communicate.
He's like, you has food and I has no food. You has food in your room or in the kitchen.
All right, is it on? No.
No, that's what we're doing. New one tomorrow.
I know, I'm so excited.
Yep, we are watching The Flash. That's what we're doing.
Jesus, Midget, McGumface.
I don't know.
Fun names, I love them.
Here we go.
What was all that feedback? I thought he was under control.
I don't know. Nothing like that has ever happened before. Maybe his neuroregression finally reached the point where the crown can no longer affect him.
Bull crap, you planned it.
No. We don't know that. Why don't you come to Star Labs with us? We can use the MAD 2.0 to boost the crown's efficiency.
We need to find King Shark before he hurts anyone. Argus backup protocols have been activated. The King Shark can be anywhere. We'll retask the Star Labs satellite to work in circuit with Argus.
What's on your mind?
Just wondering if we need to rethink how we're gonna catch him.
Stop, that did not happen.
Yes, it did. Look, my lips went numb, and then they swelled up so bad it looked like I had plastic surgery.
What did Wally do?
He laughed, of course. The baby laughed. At least now I know I'm allergic to Szechuan pepper.
Dad, do you mind if I work here today, actually? Might give us some time to catch up.
Well, you know I'm never gonna turn that down. So, but Cecile tells me that
You have a fancy new office?
Yeah, it's just, the plumbing is really lousy and I can't have water dripping in my laptop, right?
Well, hey, the guy that expanded our guest bath, he did a really great job and he's really affordable. Let me give you his number.
No, Dad, it's fine, really.
Iris, if you don't take care of this quickly, it could snowball. Here, let me just send it to you.
Okay, yeah. Actually, yeah, you know what, that's a great
You
idea.
think she
Why don't you send it to me and I'll
suspects
come over
something
there?
with Nora?
So I can
Because she
do
got
it.
up and left when
Okay.
said something about Nora working or
Love you
more.
somebody working with somebody.
So, if we want to boost the Crown's powers, we got to get it to talk to the Mad 2.0.
What about a logarithmic code?
Exactly. You see, this is why we need more scientists on the team.
Shay tells me that all the time.
Well, the guy knows what he's talking about. All right, so why don't you use my workstation and I'll get this going.
Fascinating, right?
It should be. It's the merging of technology and human consciousness.
And Shark. Well, no, I'm referring to your relationship with Shay Landon.
What do you mean, relationship?
C'est clair, no? The way your posture relaxes when you're speaking of him and the way your voice modulates, it suggests of familiarity. Or something more.
We're both marine biologists, so we have a lot in common. I guess you could say we've grown very close. But he's just my patient.
Oh, of course.
Look at that, we have liftoff. They are actually talking. You see, I knew these two crazy kids were gonna make it work.
They aren't just syncing up. The MAD 2.0 is acting like an antenna, amplifying the Crown's psychic signal beyond anything I could have imagined.
We heard geeks screaming. How are things going in here?
I just need to sync the helmet to my earbuds and we're good to go.
You have that in Cortex. The main console, by the monitor to the left. You know what? Come with me, I'll show you.
Great work, Cisco.
Oh, well, it takes a village, but every village needs a genius, and that's me, so thank you.
Now we just have to find King Shark and talk him down.
Why don't we get the cure injector to Caitlin and make sure it's ready to go?
Well, remember, we gotta talk to him first.
Right.
We got a hit on King Shark. He's at the wharf.
Caitlin, are you sure he's here?
Oh, he's there.
Dun-dun.
Straight for you.
Nora, you're up.
Okay, systems are synced.
Shay, it's me, Tanya. These people are only here to help you. Please listen to them.
It's okay.
I think it's working.
I think you're right. Let's ask him.
Shay, stop, please. Please. I don't know what's wrong with you. Barry?
Hey.
I love growling sharks.
Fall in the water.
Guys, what's happening? Where's Shay?
Hey.
What's going on?
Who is
Is Shay okay?
He's human again.
Something tells me not for long.
Yeah, not just fighting Grodd.
Yeah, not if the episode's called King Shark versus Grodd.
Maybe that's how they find out that it's not 100% done yet.
Yeah. I don't really like the idea at all of a metahuman cure anyways.
Yeah.
Because it kind of goes against the whole point. But, oh well.
Did you hear me?
What's up, Anton? Antoine, sorry. You should have gotten permission first. Yeah. You probably should have got, you know, consent.
Would you like to stay a shark, hybrid with a human, or would you like to become human again?
Hashtag me too. So this one's interesting so far because we're 20 minutes in already, and really
We haven't seen any Grodd yet. Except
haven't
for the
seen any
beginning.
Grodd yet. Yeah.
Except for the opening thing.
That, and it's just kind of a slow episode.
Yeah, it definitely has a slow start.
It's the first slow one of the season.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Which you'd think would be more insane if it's got freaking King Shark and Grodd.
What's up, Alan? Good to see you, bro. We miss you, man.
And young Obi-Wan Kenobis.
Good to have you around.
No, Skyfrost, the episode is not finished. We are just halfway through, and it's at a commercial for Mountain Dew right now. And now Target.
And there's little baby, and there's dog food, and there's cleaners, which those three things should never be in the same shot together.
No. But they also did just show a commercial for the new Pet Cemetery, which I'm excited about to see John Lithgow playing what's-his-name's part.
When does that come out again? I forgot.
Pet Cemetery?
Mm-hmm.
April 5th.
April 5th.
April 5th?
Oh, you.
So next month.
It just showed it.
Nice.
Well, it's the same day Shazam.
Did you guys see the new Shazam trailer?
So good!
Thing of beauty. Not a lot of new footage in it, but still good.
Thank
Still
you,
very
Derek.
good.
We appreciate that.
Still very good. How many of you are just chomping at the bit to go see Captain Marvel this week?
Comes out 2 days.
Yeah.
The least of my concerns this week.
Derek said he enjoyed our reaction to Vader Shards of the Past.
Well, thank you. Who said that?
Derek Thompson.
Thanks, Derek. We appreciate that. Yeah, I love that, man. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it absolutely sucks that the guy can't fundraise to make part 2, because now we all want to see part 2, and you know.
Why can't he fundraise?
Because it was part of the deal that he made with Lucasfilm, that he couldn't raise funds like in certain ways, like he couldn't do a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter program or anything like that. So he's trying to get funds through like having like a corporate sponsor to like sponsor the whole thing, and then be able to like basically have an ad on.
William, don't you mean Captain Sparkle Fingers?
Yeah, no, and I tell you what, you know, speaking of
I'm joking.
speaking of the whole Vader Shards of the Past thing, I'm getting really sick of Warner Brothers right now, tagging everything for copyright. But we'll talk about that during another commercial. Still on commercial. They're the only company that tags us for copyright on reaction videos or anything. It's just so frustrating, especially given the fact that I love Warner Brothers so much and I am such a big DC fan that it's like, stop. All right, we're back on.
Who are you? No, it's okay. They're friends.
Tanya.
Yeah, it's me.
I'm me. How? We call it the cure. It's a serum that suppresses dark matter in metahumans. You're the first person to take it.
Well, except you didn't take it.
Oh, we gave it to you.
And my head is still swimming around. Are you saying I'm human again? Forever?
Almost. helped the cure to work on the human part of a metahuman, the animal part of your brain fought back a little bit. There's still some dark matter in your pituitary gland, but with this new data, we should be able to adjust the cure, and the next dose should be permanent.
Sure, then I'll introduce myself. Sherlock Watts. Probably heard of me out question. I've been debating in my brain what drives a king shark. Is it the shark? Or is it the man?
If you're asking, should I be held accountable for my actions? My answer's simple. Yes, I should. I don't remember how many people I hurt. Or who. But that's no excuse.
What do you remember?
Fragments, glimpses. One day I was a scientist, the next I was trapped in that body, and everything felt heightened, like my emotions were on steroids. And the rage. There was so much rage.
That makes sense. A shark's amygdala triggers a huge emotional response when it feels attacked.
Well, that's why you escaped today. You were frightened.
I don't know. Today felt different. I don't remember much before I started using Tanya's crown. But since then, my mind and memory have been much clearer. And I especially remember the kindness that you showed me.
How much you want to bet Gorilla Grodd's going to attack, and he's going to have to become King Shark again?
What happened?
Oh, yeah.
The dark matter in his system is replicating.
Tanya, I'm sorry.
Shay, I'm sorry, but until this is over, we can't let you leave Star Labs. Call me as soon as the cure is ready to inject him a second time. We have to know if this works.
Barry?
Yeah.
When you said you wanted me to call you, it was so that we could ask Shay if he wants to take the cure, right?
Because you know, out in the field, you didn't really give me much of a choice.
But that was kind of hard to do when King Shark had you dead to rights.
We had a way of communicating with him. And you barely gave that a shot, and we could have tried again.
I saved you, man. What did you want me to do? Risk your life?
That's not the point.
It should be. We're a team. We're supposed to have each other's backs.
And we agreed as a team to wait for his permission, but you didn't even do that.
And look what happened. You're alive, and Shay seems to like being human, so that's a win-win.
Is that what you think a hero does? Forces other people to do what you want them to do?
He was gonna eat you.
Uh-oh.
Cisco. What was I supposed to do?
We agreed that the cure would never be used as a weapon.
Tell me something. Did you change your mind in the moment? Or was this always part of the plan?
Dang.
Dan,
I went by your office to talk to you.
Dad, look, I am...
Don't try it. I heard about this crazy time loop you all got stuck in.
Cisco and Nora told me what happened in every version, and although I don't remember any of them, just knowing what did happen.
You weren't scared.
I don't know. I mean, I broke into Skada's home. Dad, I fought him. And as terrifying as that was, I mean, at least I could react to it, you know? But now that he knows who I am, who my family is, I mean, he could show up at any moment. I feel...
Powerless.
Yeah. I don't know, I can't go back there.
Okay. Get up.
And I just told you, I don't want to go back there, you know?
I'm not taking you there.
Then where?
Someplace where I can show you how powerful you really are. Back it up. Come on.
We gotta talk.
Don't you know you shouldn't interrupt others while they're brooding? Trying to get my Oliver Queen on here.
There is no test on Shay. The reason he doesn't remember anything that happened this morning is because he experienced a severe brainwave disruption in his frontal lobe. That's the feedback that we all heard.
So that's why he snapped on us like it was Jaws the Revenge?
A frontal lobe that compromised would of course result in lack of control over emotions and judgment.
So, you think maybe the Crown might have done this?
No, that's the thing. The crown is not the problem. The way the neurotransmitters work in this device never would have caused that.
So what you're saying is the telepathic Crown was working the whole time?
Yes, so that begs the question, what caused King Shark to go berserk?
Guys, hey,
What's her name?
I just wanted to
Check.
apologize for earlier. I was definitely too harsh.
We might control like Grodd.
Hello, Flash.
Oh, dang.
Dang.
Oh
there's
my god.
Right as Cisco punched him in the face, because I didn't know that he was gonna vibe him. I was like, oh, it's Gorilla Grodd. And then he vibed him.
Well, Skyfrost, they have plenty of the cure. That's not it. They were just testing it. And so they were testing it. They wanted to test it on King Shark, but they all had agreed that King Shark had to agree to wanting the cure. That anybody who took the cure had to agree to wanting the cure. And King Shark was going to eat Cisco, and so Barry decided just to go ahead and give him the cure without pursuing like whether or not he wanted the cure or not. And so that's what he did. He forced the cure on him
But
instead
he
of...
said that because King Shark was holding Cisco in his hands and looked like he was about to like bite him or eat him, and that's the reason why Barry says
Yeah.
that he hit him.
Yeah, and so, but so Caitlin and Cisco were upset because they were saying in creating the cure that it should be for the metahuman to decide whether or not they want to be cured or not. Somebody shouldn't use that as a weapon, and so they felt that Barry used it as a weapon, and
Even though he said he was trying to say he saved Cisco by doing it, but they were pretty much saying at what cost.
yeah. But so the question is, was Barry just gonna do that the whole time, or
Was he gonna have his own agenda, pretty much?
yeah. I love you too, Skyfrost. Thank you.
It also said what happened to Frost from Jordan.
Oh, well, she was being mind controlled by Gorilla Grodd.
Yep.
And that was what, and so was King Shark when they because Gorilla Grodd has a problem with them having the Medicure. You can tell already that that's pretty much his issue. So earlier he was controlling King Shark, and that's why King Shark went crazy, because they said that the neuro crown that he had was working just fine. That's what they just said, was that the crown was working just fine, but somebody else had to be interfering, and I thought it was the lady who was working on it, but apparently it was Gorilla Grodd. No.
Skyfrost. But they didn't know that Grodd was there. So they didn't know that they needed to use it on Grodd.
Yeah. I think the last place we've seen him was Earth 2.
Derek said the cure won't work on Grodd, though.
Yeah. Grodd was created in season 1. He was created by Star Labs in season 1.
And Jeff said, well, the metas didn't choose to be metas in the first place, so ... which also makes sense.
Because it was Earbird, Caitlin, and Cisco that worked on Grodd.
Yeah, I mean, that's an argument that you could go back and forth on, I think.
Yeah.
Like whether or not it's ethical to take their powers away or whatever, given the fact that they were given powers by accident to begin with. But once they are what they are, like, is it ethical to
Derek
just take
said
it away?
Grodd has always been a gorilla, so it won't work on him.
Yeah, but he's a metahuman in the fact that he has the
Cerebral
powers.
scan is clear. Mine is as well. We are both back to normal.
No more strings on us.
Killer Frost says she's sorry for that ice blast. That was Grodd, too. Now she's ready for some payback.
Yeah, me too. Do we have a 20 on our simian Svengali?
Data and company are working on it, but Grodd's psychic abilities are helping him conceal his location, so he could be anywhere by now.
I thought every square inch of Argus was supposed to be power dampened 24 hours a day.
It is.
How does an 800-pound gorilla escape?
Let me show you.
Very carefully.
I went through our security footage. This is from the night of May 22nd, 2018.
That's the night.
Of the Enlightenment. Devil's Dark Matter Wave took down all tech in the surrounding areas. Luckily, our generators kicked in.
But not for a second.
1 second. That's all Grodd needed to psychically implant instructions in a guard. Instructions to secretly shut down the power dampeners in his cell. And find out any other information he needed to know.
So that's why King Shark flipped out? Because Grodd was trying to mind control him?
Likely as a distraction.
Grodd's only ever controlled human minds before. He must have had a hard time controlling King Shark because of the animal part of his brain.
So King Shark was trying to resist Grodd's iron will? Respect.
If Grodd has powers for a year, why wait until now to escape?
It's probably no coincidence that the first thing he did was steal the telepathic crown.
Tanya did say she's been working on the crown for a while. Grodd probably knew this was the perfect opportunity.
And it was thanks to our attack.
Well, now that Grodd has the crown, what's gonna happen when he uses it?
It'll amplify his mental abilities 1,000-fold. Instead of just being able to mind control a few people at a time.
I'll be able to control the whole city.
Forgive me. I'm intruding. Or am I? I see him out there and I see you in here in the shadows. Why is that, I wonder?
Can you blame me? You saw his hand transform.
Yes, right. Shark Week. Not something you see every day, but no, I thought your hesitation occurred before that moment, not after. Slight hesitation, but it was there nonetheless. Again, why do you think that is?
I don't know.
No? Well, perhaps I could be so bold as to offer a suggestion that it is not the hand of which you were frightened, but rather it was seeing the face of the man that you love.
I don't love Shay. We're friends.
All right, well, let's take a look at that too, shall we? So this is a friend from another Earth, for whom you left a high-paying job, and for whom you have dedicated every waking moment of your life trying to help. It doesn't quite add up.
I can't love Shay. He's my dead husband's doppelganger from Earth 2. How crazy would I have to be to fall in love with him?
No crazier than marrying the same woman from 5 different Earths. I know. I'm very good at marrying people, but not so great at staying married. Along the way, though, on these countless Earths and countless doppelgangers, I learned there is one thing that makes all of us unique. And if that is what you fell in love with, well then, perhaps the face doesn't matter that much.
Played Sherlock.
You missed a beautiful sunset earlier.
Too bad. It's my favorite time of day.
Mine too. I almost forgot what one looked like. Did you know sharks are colorblind? When I was King Shark, my world was dull and gray. And then I met you, and everything changed. I thought you were avoiding me.
I was. But not anymore.
Tanya, are you disappointed in me now that I'm...
No, not at all. They say every sunset is unique. Do you think that's true?
Yes, I do.
Right
is not going to work.
You haven't even tried it yet.
Look, I get it. I'm supposed to take out my frustrations on that bag and somehow get over it, but it's not that easy.
To confront what ails you? No, it's not. It's hard. I had to go all the way across the world to do it.
You're talking about Tibet? I thought you went there to see Wally.
I did, but that's not the only reason I went. I went there to heal.
Is that why you were gone for so long?
Wally convinced me to come east with the baby. He said that it would help me repair my mind, my body, restore this old soul of mine. So, with Cecile's blessing, that's what I did.
Did it work?
I bent. Baby girl. The cicada ain't gonna break me. Ain't gonna break you either. Come on. Come on, show cicada what you got. Break 'em, Iris.
All right, Mickey. Come on, kids, you're gonna eat. Thunder, crap, lightning.
What's happening?
Our fuzzy friend is climbing up the Broom Belfry. What is it with him in that tower?
Because it's at the exact epicenter of the city, making it the perfect place to broadcast from. He's going to use the crown.
Get inside everyone's head in the city.
You to meet someone.
Yeah,
the ginormous telepathic
William
gorilla
told me not
lost
to
his
sleep.
mind.
Yeah.
Well,
William said, "Don't fall asleep, Enosh.
Well,
May
William.
God have mercy."
Let me tell you something. I have had exactly 30 minutes of sleep since yesterday. So the fact that I'm here at all right now is amazing. But I will do my best. But yeah, so I think what's going to happen, I think it's going to come down to King Shark.
I agree, Antoine.
King Shark is basically, what in the world? What, just Taco
What
Bell
are they
commercial?
doing?
Taco Bell commercial. They keep, or Dunkin' Donuts commercial.
They're
and
sliding their butts across the cars.
Cars, yeah.
I'm
They
surprised.
caught all of us off guard.
I know. You thought for Fat Tuesday they'd have some kind of Poochki commercial.
No.
Oh yeah, speaking of donut,
I got a text from
our teacher brought one. He brought Don's donuts.
But
so that's pretty much a double baked.
no, I think it's going to come down to the fact that
I don't think
that they're going to need King Shark to take on Grodd, and so
maybe next
he's going to sacrifice his ability to take the Tiff.
It's a happy.
I don't know. We're having a conversation over here about the show, not punchkis.
Talking about something else.
Y'all talking about donuts over there.
No, I was
Some of us
saying
don't
how
want to
my
have
mom
the donut.
texted me Happy Fat Tuesday, Skinny, because I lost so much weight.
There you go. Rock on. All right. No. So I'm saying. What was your question, William? Which one?
How did we get the name Poindexter Lounge?
Oh, how did we get the name Poindexter Lounge?
Yeah.
Well, that was Tiffany. Because it was just, the channel was just my channel that I had started years ago, just Enosh Fett. And
I could tell because all of our phones were circling.
There you go, it's back.
okay.
We have to restart that.
So sorry about that. So anyways, we got frozen there for a second. So to answer the question, so it was just like me. It was my channel that I just posted some random things on every once in a while. But then the family started doing more things together. Tiffany and I started doing like some movie reviews. We had a little thing called Spoiled that we did on the channel.
Came up with?
Yep. She also came up with Spoiled, and that all started because of Sharknado 3. Because we watched Sharknado 3 and it was ridiculous. And so.
Because what was that one called? Sharknado 3? Oh, hell.
Yeah.
Repeat that.
Yeah. But so there was that, and so then so once we started like actually kind of this last year, is when we really started actually pushing that, like we were gonna do this channel.
After we got through our medical stuff and
Yep.
our surgeries and all that stuff, we kind of just jumped in head first.
Yep. So we decided we were just gonna really try to do this and have some fun with it. And so in doing that, I really wanted to rebrand the channel and have it actually be something. And so we kind of threw around some stuff, you know, some nerdy stuff, because that's what we're all about, right? It's a place for nerds. It was a place that we could do stuff like this. And so Tiffany came up with the idea of the Poindexter Lounge, because we used to joke about. She actually had that name for quite a while, because we used to joke about there's a guy locally here who sells toys. He's got like a toy shop, and when we go there, I just sit around.
Market.
Yeah, I can just sit around and talk for hours with him.
And he does.
He basically owns the entire place.
Yeah, and so we can just talk for hours about nerd stuff like this, about superheroes and Star Wars and stuff, and so it's gonna come back on here.
Where everyone's under positive control.
Just continue. And we'll
Maybe
talk
this
about
week with this
donuts
Nicolette
too.
comment, get it away from him.
I can try talking to him. He's always had a sweet spot for me.
Good.
Hell, you will. Nope. Killer Frost's gonna be hard, so I'll know. We're immune to his mind control, right? Because we're speedsters?
No?
Okay, the Flash Museum just straight up got a lot of stuff wrong.
Wait, but do you have any extra anti-mind control headsets lying around?
There's a few in the workshop, but it didn't work so well last time.
Yeah, but now there's two of us. I need you to run it in as fast as you can without reversing time.
Okay.
That'll get his attention.
What are you gonna do?
An old trick.
Dang!
Get the crown.
Gorilla Blood.
I was gonna say gorilla butt.
You can now film
I can't move. The mental dampeners are working, but Grodd's too strong. I'm trying to hack into the crown, but Grodd won't let me.
He's gonna kill them.
Not if you turn me back. I can
You
stop
called
Grodd.
that, Enosh.
He can't read my mind, at least. Not when I'm a shark.
Can you do that? I mean, if we accelerate the cell cycle, use something that will prompt a return to the dark matter cellular
He's
form.
the Incredible Shark.
A vibrational jolt, right?
Yes, if it was strong enough, but there would be permanent consequences. If we resaturate your metagenic cells, that will eliminate the possibility for you to transform them back into human cells.
Told
We'll be
you.
able to use the cure.
Shay, if you agree to this, you'll never be human again.
Tanya, I can save Flash, the people of this city, you, and make up for some of the horrible things I've done. I have to do this.
I'm afraid of losing you.
But I will.
Yeah, really.
Is there anyone in this room that can provide a vibrational jolt?
I'm doing it.
I love this show. And this Snowville.
We've got a pretty good. I'm sorry. It's a were shark. This should be on Sci-Fi Network.
My mind grows. Soon, Grodd will rule this city, this world, and you gone forever.
No.
Poor monkey butt.
Shark Boy has anything to say about it? Here we go, guys. This is it. Holy cow! King Shark is a lot bigger than Grodd.
That's tiny little baby. Maybe that's what happens when you resaturate your cells. What are you doing?
Hey, this is a better version of Rampage than Rampage was.
That's all the rock.
That was like the only reason why
Dang.
This is great. Okay, King Shark is big one now. You're about that? They have dropped off. He just wants a big ring.
It's that ish part, right?
Oh no.
Guys, King Shark's not moving.
When a shark is turned upside down, it enters tonic immobility.
He's in a state of paralysis.
How do we wake him up? Don't sharks have electroreceptor organs called ampullae of Lorenzini? It's how they detect electromagnetic fields, right?
Yes, it's how they navigate.
And we will also attract electricity, right? So if we can get enough electricity to him, we can electrify his ass back up.
Time for another old trick.
The Flash can just... Here we go. Jazz hands. Oh, dang.
Yeah, let's just keep the shark. Good idea.
They just said they need the electric. They just said they need the electric receptors to get him back.
Yeah. Pretty easy way to defeat him, though. Turn him over on his back.
Nice. Now you done messed up.
Oh, and now he's wet.
But done messed up, Grodd. It's a little bit like Caesar. Oh, crap.
Nothing to live.
That's the king.
He's the king. It's good to be the king.
Wow.
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
It's the opposite of what I thought.
So, okay, so, anyway, so to finish that story, Tiff,
About the donuts?
no, not about the donuts,
Oh.
about Point Extra Lounge. So we used to go hang out at this toy place at the
Flea market.
at the flea market, and I used to tell him that he needed to like get a bar with some stools and
well,
just
guys will go to like a sports bar and you guys will have drinks and watch, you know, games and just talk, shop and stuff. And there's not places like that really for nerds, unless you're going to play like, you know, D&D and like, you know, stuff like that where you just like, and not everybody does that. So I said we should make a place where we can go and just hang out and just, you know. And Enosh goes, well, what would you call it? And I said Point Extra Lounge.
Yep.
Because all you think of is the nerd with the glass, you know, the tape on the glasses. And he's like, we could do that on YouTube.
There you go. So then we decided to rebrand the channel.
And then we got involved.
Yep, and called it the Poindexter Lounge, and
Those
the rest was history.
are the guys that took off the
That's Camp Hill.
Talking about Liam Neeson's. Liam Neeson's is my jam.
Emmys.
Yeah, Aiden, I'm sorry, man, but like when it's on live, pretty much the only place you can watch it live. I mean, unless you find somebody streaming it, you know, like on some kind of ghost stream or
He's
whatever.
not getting dinged.
Yeah, that's not, you know, that's on YouTube or whatever. You're pretty much only gonna find it on cable, you know, or whatever,
What does that mean?
until it comes out later.
Jeff said I suddenly want Cicada to ride on Grodd's back and Ralph on King Shark's.
I know Grodd almost turned all of our brains into scrambled egg, but that kaiju battle was the stuff of dreams.
Seriously, way better than anything I read in the Flash Museum.
Now that Grodd is safely
As
locked
long as
up,
it's not
what's
over here.
stopping him from getting out again?
A medically induced coma, one safely administered by Caitlin and the Argus medical staff.
Exposure to the crown kickstarted Grodd's mental abilities into high gear. They're growing even now. Fortunately, I realized that if Grodd's brain remains inactive, he can't access his mental powers.
Add a newly enhanced AI power dampeners that upgrade to keep up with Grodd's power.
You're welcome, by the way. Is there anything it takes to keep the city safe?
Speaking of keeping the city safe, we couldn't have done this without Shay.
How'd you guys convince him to turn back into King Shark?
We didn't.
He volunteered.
And you can never turn him back into a human?
I don't think so. So he's gonna stay King Shark forever?
Which means he took that away from him if he never would have done it in the first place.
Well,
Like Lady in the Water.
is one once again.
Yeah.
And yet you do not seem like you're really celebrating well, it is.
After all that's happened today, I just wonder how it will affect.
Your relationship? Well, that's a big question. I must admit, but you know what? We'll figure it out, both of you, together.
If so, we'll have you to thank.
Oh, no.
Me especially.
No, I did nothing. No, you're right. I did have quite a bit. The point here is simply this, and that is that whether it's man or shark or man shark,
I love his acting.
the heart wants what the heart wants. And so he must be open to that.
We can
Sounds
make
like
you
you
a shark.
solved life's greatest mystery.
Lady Shark.
That's what I do.
Lady Shark, do. Lady Shark, do.
I hope one day you find what you're looking for too. Maybe in another doppelganger.
Lady Wells, do. Lady Wells, do. We haven't seen a Lady Wells yet.
Maybe do it. Tanya, you look sad. Why?
Because you're a shark?
We found each other today. And now our connection is
Still here.
Shay. What you did.
I will do it again. For you. My love.
Aww.
When you're a shark, no one can see your tears.
Come to the shark side.
Time to bend. King Shark versus Gorilla Grodd? Are you kidding me? I missed that.
Huh.
Are you sure you don't want something a bit more grown up?
You take that back. This snack is a delicacy, no matter how old you are.
Guys, hey, just Swedish fish. Love those. Look, I know today's been crazy. And I just wanted to make sure that we're good. I know Grodd made you blast me in the face, but I also know I kind of deserved it. Same with being ice blasted. I shouldn't have used the cure as a weapon and forced it on King Shark. I promise that won't happen again.
Apology accepted.
Cooper.
And we know something good did come out of today. We know the metahuman cure works.
And now we can use it to help all the metas in Central City and beyond.
Maybe we start with Cicada.
Oh.
I'm sorry. What?
I know, I just... can surprise you. Today definitely reminded me that. And like you've been saying, everybody deserves a choice to be whoever they want to be. That includes our enemies.
Cicada wants to be Batman.
I think we should offer the cure to Cicada.
Hi, this is Nathan D. Parsons. Roswell, New Mexico is all new. Coming up next on CW.
Here, the episode ends.
This is it. The last confrontation.
What are you talking about?
Today's the day you stop Cicada.
Something is struggling to break through, or someone. We have to move. The Flash, all next Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on
It just says
CW.
this is only the beginning.
Really good episode.
We're on Destiny defeat Cicada so they can bring Godspeed on.
Oh, true, because we've seen the pictures. Nice.
I agree, Jeff. We need a Lady Wells after the crisis.
That'd be weird.
Yeah. I don't want like a whole season of Lady Wells. What?
Nothing I can say on air.
Oh boy. So folks, here's the thing. We're gonna do this real quick because I'm extremely tired because it's been a long day for me. I've been up for quite a while now. Like I said, I went to bed at 6:15 this morning and got up at 6:45 this morning, and so I'm a little tired. And so, but that's okay. But we're gonna talk about this episode right now. We're gonna go ahead and do the review right now.
We were saying the same thing, Jeff. Me and Isaac were joking.
What's that?
He says a transgender Wells is workable. Haha. It's both.
There you go.
Don't work well with the males because he used to be one.
Oops. Come on, dog, get out of the way.
He's like, I want to be in the after speak. Come here. Sit. Oh, good boy.
All right, let's get things turned around.
I want kisses. Oh.
Come on. There we go. There's my shirt.
He got him right away.
All right. All right, folks. So, what did y'all think of this episode? It was a good episode, wasn't it? It definitely picked up.
Yeah. I felt like they built it up for like a 2-minute fight scene at the end.
Yeah, the fight scene wasn't very long, but it was, it was better than I thought it was going to be. Actually,
Yeah.
I thought that it wasn't going to be as long as at all.
And
Come on
King
over.
Shark also.
Come on over here, Tiff.
And King Shark also sacrificed himself for the team.
Yeah.
And being with the lady.
Yeah. Well, I predicted that one. So.
There's room right here.
Come on, there's room over here for you.
Or a cross-dresser Wells. That would expand the acting
Cross-dresser.
ability of the actor.
Cross-dresser Wells. I don't want to see a whole season of that, but
An episode would be funny.
an episode would be funny. Okay, Tiff, we're gonna do our review, so come on over.
There you go.
Why can't you guys scoot over?
Because there's no room over there, babe.
Yeah, there is.
No, it's not to be able to put this up. There's not. So, okay. Whoops, there's my hand. All right, so here we go.
Oh, I have my phone here.
So yeah, so the episode started off a little slow. Wasn't as quick paced as I was hoping for that first almost half.
Yeah.
About 25 minutes in, it was still kind of lagging, but I did feel though that I had a pretty good idea what was going to happen. With King Shark sacrificing his ability to use the cure. But I do think
he had to fight the monkey butt.
I know. I think that they're setting up an interesting. Thing though between Cisco, Caitlin, and Barry, because Cisco is said to be leaving the show.
Yep.
And
he doesn't want to confirm it yet because he's not for sure.
And there's also
still a possibility.
Yep, and there's also talk of Caitlin possibly leaving. But the thing is to do that, they have to bring him on a new friend.
Yep.
In
which you were telling me this.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago.
Yeah. So they're bringing in
Godspeed.
Godspeed. So Godspeed is coming episode 18, and
this is 15. So
this is 15. Yeah. So
3 episodes. So 3 weeks from now.
That was our joke, Jeff. Me and Isaac were talking and saying when he's like, "Well, I was trying to save you, Cisco," and he's like, "I was trying to leave the show, Barry."
Well, I don't think this was his last episode.
No, I
this
know.
Isn't
That's
his
what
last
we were
episode.
joking about.
Yeah. Oh, I got you. I got you. But no, so yeah, so they're bringing on Godspeed. Godspeed comes on supposedly episode 18, and
the costume looks awesome.
And so Godspeed is actually Barry's like best friend in the comics, and so
maybe that's why Cisco leaves, because he's
that's
jelly.
why they got, but they're saying that the Godspeed episode that we get here will most likely be kind of more like a cameo, and that we'll see Godspeed, but they're setting up Godspeed for next season.
Yeah.
Is what all the reports are saying.
Well, one thing that I was thinking that I think would be cool, but one thing that I remembered when King Shark and Grodd were fighting is I remembered in the comics for a little bit that Gorilla Grodd had the Speed Force in him. I was like, that would be cool for a future season to see that somehow Grodd got it, and then maybe he could be like the all-season villain.
Yeah.
For a future season.
No, that'd be cool. But I just don't know if they'll do a full season of Grodd just because of the technical, things. Now, this was interesting to see this episode of The Flash, given that this episode of The Flash is a there was a lot of special effects in this episode, and we also just got done watching two episodes of the Orville that were very FX driven, and it was interesting because those effects episodes of the Orville had a lot better special effects than this episode. There were times that the effects looked really good, and then there were times that it just looked really cartoonish. But I'm not complaining because I still think it was good. I just it wasn't the best CG, and it just goes to show you why they can't do these kinds of episodes every week. Why they just can't do Gorilla Grodd and King Shark and those types of villains every week. Let's see, what did Jeff say?
Danielle Caitlin is not leaving the show. She is even starting to direct episodes of the show. She promoted the show the most of all the actors.
Yeah, no, and I agree, Jeff. But there was an article that came out this week that said that she's basically kind of thinking about it. That she's deciding what she wants to do. That she hasn't either come out and said that basically she's leaving, but with Cisco leaving, it's kind of got her thinking about it. So
He also says, I hope they invite Marlise DeVoe back or Julian, who are both living in the same city, London, UK.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd love to see a return of both Julian and Marlise for sure. Well, because people just disappear, but they're not gone. They can always bring them back at any time. I mean, okay, so let's talk about that too.
They still mention them now.
Yeah, so let's talk about the return of Joe.
Yes.
I'm glad that he's back.
Me too.
Me too.
I've missed him.
I have missed Joe.
Yeah, and you can tell just from this episode of him being back that it was different while he was gone.
Yeah. Yeah, that he had
He was
changed.
very much missed, yeah.
Yeah, that he had changed. But I will say this too. I don't know how I felt about all the stuff with Wally.
Especially because there's a different timeline with Wally on Legends.
Yeah.
And how he went on there and also left Legends. So there's there's a missing link there that they didn't tie together with Flash.
Yeah.
But I also, as a mother, if I just had a baby, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't let you take the baby to Tibet when the baby was that young, to just take the baby with you and just be gone. I'm sorry, that's not feasible to me.
No, that doesn't even seem like a thing.
No.
That you would just go, I'm going to take the baby to Tibet.
Okay,
No.
bye.
No. But also, like I said, he kept sharing all these stories about Wally, and I think that was there to kind of connect us to Wally still, in some way. But that being said, still yet not really sure how I felt about all the Wally stories. Right?
Yeah.
That everything was a Wally story all of a sudden.
But it also was their way of kind of like backtracking, like, hey, I got hurt in real life. where was I this whole time? I gotta explain during this episode now that I'm back.
Sure.
So it kind of felt like, oh, by the way, remember I was in Tibet. I was with Wally. I took the baby. In case you forgot.
By the way, all that stuff happened, and but it was good to see him back, and I'm glad that his back's doing better in real life, and that he's back. So
he's helping Iris kick butt. She's been actually out of everything. I think her story has been progressing for the better in the last couple episodes.
Yeah, definitely. I felt that
literally kicking butt this episode because she was working out and
taking names.
I thought at the very end it was funny. She's like, "How did I miss the fight between King Shark and Gorilla Grodd?"
Yeah, that was cool.
That's funny. Hey, hold on just 1 second. I'll be right back. Go ahead and because I want to go grab something real quick.
Okay.
You were saying something like you were going to continue.
One thing that I thought was, which I got confused for a second, but I wasn't thinking, I was like, wait, why would a Miko Queen have anything to do with the show? Because when it showed Iris and she was wearing like the pants and she had like the tank top on, she looked a lot like a Miko Queen, like from a distance.
Ah.
And I was like, what? And
they're trying to cross over.
No. Which I still think we're supposed to get a crossover, because I remembered when Nora came back, she said that even Oliver Queen tried to fight Cicada and failed.
Ah.
So I still think, before Cicada gets defeated, and I'm still hoping that we get that fight between Oliver Queen and Cicada.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts for next week with them saying that maybe we should give with Barry saying maybe we should give the cure to Cicada? Yeah. 1, will he even accept it? Mm-hmm. Or 2, will he fight them on it? And then also, it said in the previews, this is just the beginning. What do you think that means?
Mm-hmm. Well, we know for sure, since it's a TV show, it's not going to be easy for them to do it. Yeah. They're going to get like this close, and then it's going to be like, no, something's going to happen where it's going to fail.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking maybe the dagger might have something to do with it. Like they're going to inject it in him, and then the dagger's maybe going to pull it out.
Because the dagger's pretty much like a part of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that thing in his chest, it seems like slowly throughout the season is growing bigger and bigger, and it's making him more powerful.
Well, what if they stab the cure there?
Yeah. Get it right in the source.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jeff said the Cicada will only accept it if Grace will offer her the cure. She's the key. I agree. That's actually a really good point. And then Tired comes out.
That's right, it's King Shark. I love this figure.
It's ginormous.
It's a huge figure, folks.
It's like the size of Steppenwolf.
It's actually, I think, bigger than Steppenwolf. Yeah, it's bigger than Steppenwolf, the Build-A-Figure for Steppenwolf. It's a huge figure. Look, the figure is taller than my head.
One thing that, I know Landon said it, and I was thinking it, is how I thought Grodd was way bigger than how he was before he went to go fight King Shark.
Yeah, I was really surprised by that too. Because by that, okay, so you got Killer Shark. Here, I don't want to put it in front of your face. Although I can cover your entire face with it. Like, by that, like, Gorilla Grodd's only about that big.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Huh.
That was like, that totally threw me off when they were fighting.
My question, though, was he really that big, or when they gave him the dark matter to bring him back to the being
Did he get bigger?
Shark, did he get bigger, or did it make him...
I don't think he did.
Or has he always been that big?
What's up, Jeffrey? Where can you watch The Flash? Well, you can watch The Flash on...
CW.
On the CW stream. So you have to get the CW app, and then you can watch it. And then also for older episodes, it's on Netflix. Is it on Hulu?
But that's the whole season that it goes on Netflix. Hulu,
yeah.
I don't think it's on Hulu.
The Spider-Man fan, Anakin Skywalker, also said, "Hey, Nash, what's up? Sorry, I'm late to your stream."
If you're unable to watch the show on TV or record the episode, I know the next day, I don't know what time, but the next day they go on the CW app and the CW website.
So there you go.
So you can watch it from there.
And Jeff said, "I never thought I would love King Shark before this episode. What he did for love is inspiring."
Robin? I did not see Robin.
Maybe he's with Batman.
Did you know that King Shark can do the splits?
Like the same kind that they do for gymnastics.
There you go.
That's
No, I did not see Robin. I didn't see that. So, but this was a good episode. This was a good episode. It was a nice welcome back episode to come back to the show. And now I'm ready to get in because I mean now that was episode 15, so we're going into
more episodes after this week.
Yeah. So so we only got about 6 or 7 more episodes till the end of the season. Man.
In 3 more we get Godspeed.
Both missed my joke.
What was your joke?
I said it's very, very good.
She said it's very, very good. Ha! Ha! That was funny, guys. All right.
And Spider-Man fan Anakin Skywalker says, "Hey, question: do you guys want to stay tuned for my unboxing video of Star Wars Blade Builders Mace Windu electronic lightsaber that I'm going to be doing soon?" Sorry, that was a mouthful.
That's all right. What's your take on Eobard Thawne? What he's really up to?
And Alan King's Nation said, "Why did it have a break and return on episode 15?"
It's just the way the season fell. I mean, it's just the way the season fell. I mean, how they...
Unfortunately, they took a 3-episode hiatus, which drove us nuts.
3-week hiatus, yeah. I mean, at least we didn't get what we got last year for, like, Supergirl, where they took, like, 2 months off.
Yeah.
And
That's what Legends is doing.
I know.
Yeah, that's because that's rough.
I know sometimes shows take a break, like, to finish off the season, like...
Yep.
Do reshoots and, like, finish and edit the last few episodes.
It's to make the heart grow fonder. All right, but let's talk about Eobard Thawne.
Yeah, because Jeffrey Gonzalez says, "What's your take on Eobard Thawne? What's he really up to?"
Because this is a real interesting mystery. Because I've always said that I wanted to see Reverse Flash come back, and Wells' version of Reverse Flash. And so I don't know. I'm starting to not really know what to make of this Reverse Flash, because is he truly trying to help? I don't believe that. I don't believe that he's trying.
And I agree with is like his motives.
He's got an ulterior motive.
What are his motives, right? Because he keeps saying that he's trying to help, but like, why would he try to help? But then there's part of it that makes me feel like, okay, Cicada, the way Cicada came into this timeline, the Cicada came in early, so Cicada was what they keep hyping Cicada up as like the one villain that was never caught and was still out there killing people even in the future, and so I could see Eobard Thawne being just jealous of that because he's supposed to be the Flash's #1 challenge, right? And and
sorry.
That's why I love her. 89 Batman references right there. I'm a #1, a guy. So, but yeah, so I could see Eobard Thawne just being, just having jealousy play a part in the fact that he wants to be that guy, that he wants to be the one that is the Flash's #1 villain. But then again, it's Eobard Thawne, so there's got to be something more to it, right? I mean, so there's got to be something more than just jealousy, I would think, because he's playing it so super cool right now, and just chill. And he's in that. And here's another thing I don't understand. He's in that maximum security kind of prison, right?
It kind of looks like a mixture between Iron Heights and Argus.
Yeah. So okay. So he's there, but he keeps telling Nora that he's running out of time, right? But the thing is, what I don't understand is like, couldn't Nora just keep coming right back to the same point?
That's what I'm thinking. Is that I think she keeps on coming back to the same exact point where she left. So that way, no time is being like.
I guess, but he keeps saying that he's running out of time. Like the actual time is passing.
Well, yeah, because remember that one when he's like, I'm literally running out of time. It shows.
Yeah.
There's a timer. Yeah.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. So it's like if she has the ability to go through time, like, is there something that's preventing her? Like, is it like real time? Like, is it real time? you know, like, is it a special like time frame or whatever, or a special prison where once you're there, like the normal time rate,
Yeah.
you know,
Like
kind of plays out.
The timeline keeps on going forward.
Yeah,
Kind of.
yeah. So that like she can't go back to the same spot, right? So if she got there at like 3:00 in the afternoon, when she goes back, she can't go back to 3:00 in the afternoon. It's like 3:15 at least, you know, or something. I don't know. So it's always moving forward because he seemed genuinely pretty scared.
Yeah.
That he was running out of time. So apparently he's going to be executed.
Yeah. Because the last time we saw him scared was in season 2 of Legends, was it?
Was it when the Wraiths were? Or,
no, when Zoom was after him.
Yeah, Zoom.
Yeah, that's pretty much the last time we saw him.
Yeah.
And he was willing to do anything in order to stay alive. Which I could see him doing here also, is trying to do anything he can to get out of it.
Jeff said his motive is to become the most powerful arch nemesis of Team Flash and not Cicada, because Cicada became the one in this timeline.
Yep.
And Jeffrey Gonzalez said, I'm still trying to figure out if Nora captured him or what you know.
So I haven't heard anything about Nora having been the one that captured him. So that's another good question. There is
It almost seems
how
like
did he end up where he's at?
him out because she wanted to know about her father.
Well, that's
or
what.
He used that to help bring her in because, well, I can.
And I think there's all these. I think there's all these clues because tonight she even mentioned the fact that like the Flash Museum doesn't get everything right.
Yeah. I was thinking about that.
And that was a you could tell that was like a little nugget, right? There was like a little part of the story where it was like, yeah, it was a flash nugget. That's funny. But no, so it's like we keep getting. Thanks, Alan. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're gonna get off here in a minute, but thanks, buddy. Thanks, man. Have a good night. So they keep giving us these little nuggets, and I felt like that was one tonight.
Yeah.
That it was like, hey, we're gonna say this, and it's just kind of in passing. But
not everything's 100%.
Not everything's 100%
accurate at the Flash Museum.
What's up, Juan Gonzalez? Happy birthday, Juan.
Yes, very happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you, to you. Happy birthday to you, to him. Happy birthday, Juan Gonzalez. What was that?
I said one.
Oh, I thought you... Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Juan. Glad to have you here, man.
He said Andy's one of your subscribers.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate that. And thank you, Jeffrey.
Yes.
Thank you for being here. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. That's what we're here for, is to sing birthday songs to people. No, we like to have fun, so that's awesome. That's awesome, for sure. But yeah, so I feel like that's going to play some kind of role, is the fact that... When she said that they can't get the that they can't get the Flash Museum doesn't get everything right, because what did she say that about? That their speed did that they couldn't be mind controlled by Grodd because of their speed. So like, where would that come from?
Yeah. Like, that doesn't make sense. Because Barry's gotten mind controlled before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was curious.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
What's up with that? Ooh-wee. What's up with that? What's up with that? Flash ring. Anyways, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how those things play out here here in a minute. But anyways, yeah, I was gonna go down this whole thing with that whole what's up with that Flash ring, Grodd sings, Shark Kings, ooh-wee. I'm having a brain fart because I'm really tired. So, but hey guys, so let's go around the horn one last time.
Okay.
Tiffany.
Yes.
What do you give this episode?
I gave it about a 5 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't my favorite. It was slow. You know, it had some stuff going on. I didn't agree. I didn't agree with Joe taking the baby to Tibet. Little things like that. It wasn't my favorite. It was one of the slowest of the episodes, but it was still a good Flash episode. I still enjoyed myself, and it's Flash.
Yeah, yeah. So what would you give it on a 1 to 10 scale?
I said 5 out of 10.
Oh, did you say 5? Oh, you said 5 out of 10. I didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
Yes.
So you said, wow, a 5 out of 10.
Maybe 6.
Ooh. What's up, Soy-Based Jeremy? Welcome back. All right. Isaac, what do you give this episode?
I'd probably say 7 out of 10.
Okay.
I really liked it. I think it was a good first episode back. Like, getting us excited, like, with King Shark versus Grodd.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like they built up the Shark versus Grodd too much. Like, they made it seem like that was going to be, like, the whole episode was them going back and forth. And then there's, like, some things that didn't make sense, like, here and there, like what you said, like, about the Joe stuff, like, taking the baby with them. And,
they were just trying to force that, you know, really.
it was like...
Just tell us what happened. Tell us where you were. It's
Yeah.
kind of like the patients that I have at work. They give me way too much information instead of just saying, I'd like to reschedule. Have at work, they give me way too much information instead of just saying, I'd like to reschedule.
Yeah.
You have to tell me why, and I don't need to know.
Yeah.
And then also...
I'll leave it at that.
Also, one thing I was thinking back
They
on
always
now,
tell her on the phone that they have, like, explosive diarrhea. Like, seriously. Like, she comes home every day pretty much with a diarrhea story. Which is weird. But it's not her diarrhea.
No.
It's her patient's diarrhea. So.
No. And also one other thing I was thinking of, like, thinking about it now is, like, well, out of all the weeks that King Shark and Gorilla God versus each other, Cicada's doing nothing.
I know. No Cicada, no Dibney.
Cicada's like, oh yeah, King Shark and Grodd got this. I got a week off.
I get. No, he was like, I get the week off. Play Batman.
I can get better at my Batman impression.
Get better at my Batman impersonation. So you gave it a 7.
Yeah.
So you know what? So I'm really glad that you guys scored it lower because honestly, I was feeling kind of bad about this because it's like
this whole season's been really
it's
good.
the Grodd versus King Shark episode.
It should have been more insane.
Right?
The comics was had way more.
So I felt like the Grodd. So I felt like those parts. I felt like it was 2 different episodes, right? The first half of the episode, 5, if that. Because I mean, the episode just moved slowly. It just didn't seem to really be catching on. And I was like, man, this is the first episode of the season where I have felt like, what's going on here? Like, are we getting to it? Right? Yeah, I felt like a filler episode, Jeffrey. And there has not been that feeling all season.
Yeah.
It seems like even
those
those
one after another, like a really good.
And out of all the episodes to be a filler, you would think it wouldn't have Grodd.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the Grodd versus King Shark episode, surely, you know. And so hold on, Soy-Based Jeremy. We'll get to that in a second because I've read that. So hold on a second. So the thing is that the last half of the episode though definitely picked up.
Yeah. And
got better, and I felt like the last half was probably about a 7.5 and 8.
Yeah.
So I was kind of feeling bad that like, man, if I scored this thing low, you guys were going to be disappointed in me
but King Shark also sacrificed himself for love.
I know, but see that too, like I felt was a little predictable because I predicted it like right off the bat that's what was going to happen, like verbatim what was going to happen, right? Yeah. Like I mean, it wasn't even just getting close.
Just turn her into a shark. A lady shark.
They just turned into a lady shark. There you go.
Queen shark.
So I gotta go with I think I'm gonna give it a 7 overall, and because I did think that the last part was good, and I did like the last half of the episode a lot. So I'm gonna give it a 7. But what do you guys give it? Let us know what you guys give it there, and what you guys thought of the episode in general. I'd love to hear it. So now we're gonna talk about. So Shazam, the trailer. So we're going to switch over to our Talk Nerdy to Me segment real quick. Shazam trailer. Not a lot of new footage, but still very, very cool. And it's trending really, really well. And people are really digging what they're seeing.
Hashtag Captain Sparklefingers.
Yeah, I thought that was good, and there's pretty much not much more to say about that. But I do want to talk about this Mark Hamill story. Okay, let's see, because Soy-Based Jeremy brought it up about Mark Hamill talking about The Last Jedi and calling out Disney. But let's go over that a little bit. Soy-Based Jeremy also says I might not like The Last Jedi, but I won't disrespect his opinion. Unlike SJWs who called me racist for liking different strokes. Somebody call you racist for liking different strokes? I love different strokes.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right. So I think Shazam looks better than Captain Marvel as well. But you know, whatever. And here's the thing.
He got called a sexist for not liking it.
For not liking Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant different strokes.
Different strokes. I was like, what?
Confused.
Mrs. Garrett. No. No. So yeah, I know we're kind of jumping around here a little bit, but so Shazam just looks really good, and so that looks awesome. I saw tonight the interview last night of Brie Larson with Jimmy Kimmel, and I'll be honest with you, that's the best that Brie Larson's ever looked to me.
Did you see the picture of her with her fans all dressed up on the red carpet?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All those girls?
She looked. No, I didn't see that, but
That's cute.
but it was the same thing because it was last night before they went to. She was going to the premiere, and she looked really nice, and her hair was bright blonde, and she actually looked like Captain Marvel.
That's how she really looks.
That's what I'm saying, but that's how she should have looked for this movie. What did they do to her to make her look worse for the Captain Marvel movie? Because have you ever seen a picture of Captain Marvel in the comics?
Yes, I
She's got
have.
bright blonde hair. She doesn't look anything like Brie Larson in that. So, I don't know. That's enough of that. That's enough of that rant. But here's the thing. I'm not gonna go see Captain Marvel right away, just because I'll be honest with you. I don't care. I don't necessarily buy into all the SJW stuff. I think that word is thrown around way too much nowadays. And that people are just throwing those terms around way too willy-nilly and acting like there's these conspiracy theories left and right, you know, all the time. And so I'm not one of those. But I do notice things, and I just didn't think that I haven't thought that any of the trailers for Captain Marvel have looked good. They've just looked boring.
You're telling me you don't like the fire mohawk?
No.
I'm joking.
I know.
You don't. That's why I said it.
It just
thinking back at all the trailers so far, it's like there's not been one trailer so far. It's been like I really want to go see it. It's just like, it's like I'll still go see it, but it's like.
But if people can go against certain shows that we don't like and not go see it opening weekend, we don't have to either.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said,
the one that the mohawk worked on was Yandu.
To me, it's not a protest. Now, I know there's people who protested Star Wars movies and they're protesting this movie. Whatever. To me, it's not a protest. I'm not saying, well, I'm not going to see it. Because you know what? If I had free time over the weekend, I may go see it. We may go see it. I don't know. Yeah. But the thing is, like, it's not important to me to see. I will say that. I'm not boycotting it. I'm just saying it's not important for me to see.
It's not like Thursday night Shazam, if the kids aren't here, kind of important.
One thing I said last night before I went to bed was... It feels like it's going to be one of those movies where it's like, I'll still go see it. It's not like one of those movies where I'm not excited to see it. It's like, I just feel like it's one of those movies where I see it when it comes out and then I don't have to watch it for a while.
Yeah. And so far the reviews, people are trying to say positive things about it. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's...
said that they deleted the original Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah, I saw that. Because some fans were scoring it lower that saw it early.
And it's dropping again.
But see, here's the thing. I don't know whether to call you soy-based or just call you Jeremy or just call you soy-based Jeremy every time or whatever. Yeah, okay, so I agree with you. So people are calling this movie basically kind of just there, right? Yeah. Like, so they're wanting to say positive things about it.
The New York Post called it boring.
But there's all the reviews that have come out. They're pretty much kind of mixed, even though they're positive and it's got a 91% or had a 91% Rotten Tomatoes score.
Well, Rotten Tomatoes. Also,
what's that?
It's also Rotten Tomatoes.
I know, but it had a 91%. But the thing is the reviews though, when people actually talk about the movie, they're like, "Well, it's kind of there. Glad I saw it. It's okay, right?"
Shazam's probably gonna get 47.
Jeffrey Gonzalez says, "How does Captain Marvel fit in with Avengers?" Is what I want to know.
I asked this because my English teacher, she likes a lot of the comic stuff, and I have her 6th hour. And someone asked that the other day, is everyone's like, how does Captain Marvel tie in the Endgame? And pretty much how she summed it up pretty much by saying her power is pretty close to Thanos. Mm-hmm. And she's pretty much supposed to be like the power match to him, pretty much.
Yeah, but I think it's a mistake though to introduce her into one movie.
Yeah.
And then have her.
Did you hear about the Age of Ultron thing that was supposed to happen this week? Is the original like script for Age of Ultron was she was supposed to show up at the end of Age of Ultron, but they ended up scrapping it last second.
Huh.
Kevin Feige talked about it earlier this week.
Yeah, because I do think it's a mistake to have her show up in one movie and then be like the one that saves everything. I think that because who cares? Like it's basically kind of crapping all over all the other Avengers that have been there from the beginning and be like, oh, guess what? Here she is. She's gonna save the day. Yeah. That I agree with. I don't
Jeremy
think that,
said, "See, I agree with your dad."
Yep. See, there you go. Right. See, I try to be a level-headed person and kind of try to look at everything. I try not to jump on too many bandwagons. Now I will say this because Soy-Based Jeremy said something.
Except for the wagons on the Oregon Trail.
Okay, so as far as the sexist, white, racist men thing, I have watched as many interviews as I can with Brie Larson about this because I wanted to get to the bottom of did she actually say this? And here's what I've come to think about this whole thing. She said some things that I feel that sometimes were taken out of context. But she said some things that like she shouldn't have said either. Like, but I get what she was saying. Like, I think that sometimes she said things, but she didn't mean them the way that they came out. Like, I really believe
like
that she was
meaning than
yeah, that she was saying when she talked about white men and whatnot about that she didn't want them. This movie wasn't for them or whatever. Like, I really feel that she was trying to say that she wanted more diversity, that she wanted more reviewers and people who were of different colors and genders or whatever to be able to review these movies and to be a part of these movies, and that these movies should be for everybody. Here's the problem with that. There's no problem with that, right? It's great. But when you say something like that, it's very easy to be taken as you just have a problem with all white men who are going to go see your movie. And the reality is that these comic book movies have a tendency to be enjoyed by white men. So you're going to offend a large group, a large population of the people who are going to see these movies. There are people, yes, from every background and every race that go see these movies. So I'm not saying that African American people aren't going to go see this movie, or Asian people aren't going to go see this movie, or whatever. But we are on Instagram, Jeffrey, as Poindexter Lounge, and mine is Enosh Fett1, so Enosh Fett1, and then Tiffany is
at Grand Tiff Tarkin.
Yep.
That both on Instagram and Twitter.
Yep, and that's mine is Enosh Fett at on Twitter, and then but it's Enosh Fett1 on Instagram.
Because didn't you say that you originally tried to make it Enosh Fett, but then
I did. I made
something happened.
Something happened and messed up, and so it made me take one. So here's where I disagree about Star Wars. I saw the interview with Mark Hamill. I think, personally, people are reading a little bit too much into it. Mark Hamill said in the interview, and if you go to darkhorizons.com, you can find the article there. He mentioned he is disappointed with the fact that the original three, Han, Luke, and Leia, would never have their reunion on screen again. And he says, I'm disappointed with the fact that I'll never be able to work, I may never work with Harrison again. At least not in a Star Wars context, right? So he mentioned that. And then he also mentioned the fact that he was disappointed that he was killed, that his character was killed, because he felt like he really only got one movie, because even though he's at the very end of The Force Awakens, it's really...
last, 10 seconds.
Yeah, he got one movie. Now, he's in this next movie. We know he is, but we don't know to what capacity, right, that Luke Skywalker is in this. If you believe Mike Zero, he came back from the dead. He's running the whole show. Everybody's happy. Luke, Han, and Leia are back together. They're having a party, and they're hanging out with Chewie on the Millennium Falcon. And Lando's there, and everybody's there, and they're just having a great time. I don't believe Mike Zero. So there you go. But
etc.
Etc. Thank you. So Mark Hamill, though, he didn't come out, and yes, he has talked about how he had disagreements with. Thank you, Mike. So tell me if you'd be interested to see this. I actually want to make a separate channel called Mark Uno, where I just like mimic his style and just say the most ridiculous stuff that I can find out of my butt about every franchise that there is, just saying how everything is going to be in everything, and just yeah.
He also says, I still think that The Last Jedi is a dream.
Yeah. So here's the thing. With all of that, Mark Hamill still respects the process. He still respects the movies that were made. He understands it. Personally, for me, The Last Jedi makes sense to me. I think that it makes sense how things played out. I wish that what they would have done. He went to jail. Hold on, that for lying? Did a judge get him in there and be like, okay, you're under oath? Are all these things happening?
He's gonna have a boyfriend, etc.
Yes. Oh, did you just say he's gonna have a boyfriend, etc.? Oh my goodness. But so the thing about that is that I really feel that the story was fine. Mm-hmm. I wish that after I wasn't aware of that. I don't pay much attention to Mike Zero. I watch him every once in a while, and every once in a while when I see a crazy theory, I'm like, okay, I gotta watch this, right? Because I gotta see what he's saying now. So I didn't know that he went to jail or whatever. What did he go to jail for? I don't know, but no. So what I'm saying is, as far as The Last Jedi goes, thank you, Jeffrey. I did see it. I saw it pop up, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I just feel that, like when Carrie Fisher died, they probably should have changed things around a little bit and not killed Luke off. Yeah. And probably kept him around for a little bit longer.
So that's like neither of them are going to be like technically alive.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Jeffrey. God bless, man. You have a good night, bro. Thank you so much for being here.
One thing that I've been saying about The Last Jedi is like I definitely don't think it's the best movie so far, but I don't think it's the worst one either. It's like one thing you keep on saying is I liked it for what it was and not what it could have been. Yeah, and I think that's what you got to do. You got to like it for what it is, not what it could have been. I think that's a great way to put it, Isaac. But it is what it is. And I didn't have a problem with The Last Jedi. I didn't have a problem with the way that they played Luke. I thought that they gave Luke a pretty cool send-off. That he used that force battle. He used an amazing power across the galaxy that we had never seen in a movie, and the power did exist. It had been there under Jedi lore of using that power, and so I don't have a problem with the power. I have a problem with the way he used it. I thought it was pretty cool, actually. But everybody has their own thing, right? As far as Rey goes, I see more of the junk with Captain Marvel than I do with Rey. Yeah. I feel that Rey mirrors Luke in a lot of ways, because Luke didn't have a lot of training either, and you don't see people absolutely losing their mind about it. They just look at it and go, well, we don't know how long he was on Dagobah, so we don't know what happened there, so oh well, right? With Rey, people just seem to lose their mind over her training for some reason. And the thing was she was on Jakku for so long, and she had great hand-to-hand combat skills. And we don't know the time gap between, what was it, 7 and 8?
Well, I mean, it pretty much starts right afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much starts right afterwards.
Yeah,
but
say she could have been there for a while.
But that being said, it's the second movie in a trilogy, so we don't even know what was coming next, right? So now I feel like, because everybody's made such a stink, J.J. Abrams is in a position now where no matter what he does, people will say, well, he's just reacting to it, right? He's just reacting to the response of, for The Last Jedi, which I don't think that's necessarily fair, and I think that it was kind of unfair of everybody to kind of freak out over the second movie in a trilogy, that the trilogy wasn't complete yet. Let it play out and then make your complaints. Then state your complaints about what you felt could have been done better and what you felt, wasn't done well or whatever, because there's still another movie to be had, right? And so, but as far as her being a Mary Sue, I don't really see that so much because, and I know everybody flips out because she beat, she was able to beat Kylo Ren. But here's the thing, Kylo Ren was not a Dark Lord of the Sith. Kylo Ren had not even finished his training. I mean, that is something that was well established, that Kylo Ren had not finished his training. And
Snoke kept on mentioning that he had a lot of anger.
Yep, and he had a lot of distraction in his heart and in his mind.
Yeah, because one thing Snoke says you have a lot of distraction, maybe feeling like it's pulling you away from the dark side.
Yep, he was a wannabe. He's not Darth Vader. People wanted him to be the next Darth Vader, but he was a wannabe. And that was the whole point of Kylo Ren, is that he's this whiny, little guy that can't get his way, and so he gets really frustrated about it. And you have
We saw
Rey.
in The Force Awakens when he got all mad and started slashing up.
Yeah, absolutely. Those what those scenes are, is to establish that. Where Rey was a lot more focused because she had to take care of herself. And she had to take care of herself for a long time out in the middle of the desert, and along with the other Junkers and everybody out there. And so
we saw in The Force Awakens that she's been there since she was little. She's been on Jakku and lived.
Yeah, but see, soy-based Jeremy. Here's what I see. Because you mentioned George Lucas, and I'm just gonna say this, okay? To me, it's the same problem that people have now all of a sudden with the DC universe and Zack Snyder. When Zack Snyder was there directing the movies, everybody was complaining about Zack Snyder, saying Zack Snyder's ruined it. He's made everything way too dark and too grim and blah blah blah. As soon as Zack Snyder was gone and Joss Whedon came in and directed half of Justice League, and people didn't like that. Oh, you should have let him finish it. You should have let him finish his vision. We want the Snyder Cut. How many videos do you see a week from people right now putting up, we're going to see the Snyder Cut. Snyder Cut's coming out. They're going to announce the Snyder Cut at San Diego Comic-Con. Did you hear about the Snyder Cut? The Snyder Cut, Snyder Cut, Snyder Cut. And everybody wants a Snyder Cut all of a sudden. Make up your mind. Do you like Zack Snyder's vision or do you not like it? Because it doesn't make sense, right? The Dark Knight was a great movie. Dark Knight was great. You'll never get an argument from me about that. The Dark Knight was a great movie. But that's, you know what I'm saying? Like people can't make up their mind what they want. Do they want the Snyder Cut? Do they not want the Snyder Cut? Do they think Zack Snyder should have finished his vision, or do they think his vision is absolute crap? They're all in between. Here's my problem with George Lucas. George Lucas was challenged with making the first Star Wars. That first Star Wars, he had to work through so many trials and tribulations making the first Star Wars movie and making A New Hope, that they had to overcome so much that's what made it so good. And The Empire Strikes Back, they kind of had an upward battle on that too, but they were able to do things that had never been done before, and they had a little bit of success. Return of the Jedi comes, and that's the first we start to see the crack in that. Now, I love Return of the Jedi, and Return of the Jedi is a classic to me, and every time I start to think a little bit negatively of Return of the Jedi, or I see something negative about Return of the Jedi, I rewatch it, and it's phenomenal, and I love it. It's not The Empire Strikes Back to me. The Empire Strikes Back is the best to me out of all those. But you'll notice, George didn't direct The Empire Strikes Back, and he didn't direct Return of the Jedi, but yet he put stuff in like Ewoks and wanted to make cute little fuzzy bears and stuff. And what did he do after Return of the Jedi? He's off making other, fluffy stuff that, like, when you look at George Lucas's track record, you see that once George Lucas got some money and was able to see his vision through of all these movies and stuff. Look, I love Howard the Duck because it was part of my childhood. But the reality is it a good movie? No, it's cheesy. It's awful. It's one of those bad movies that you really like, right? And so then you look at the sequel, look at the prequels. Look at the prequels. Now all of a sudden people are looking at the prequels and going, "Oh, how good they were," and kind of changing their mind. But I'm sorry, things don't change. It is what it is. I wanted to love The Phantom Menace. I love it for what it is. It has really great parts in it. But it's a rough movie to get through sometimes. It's very slow. And the thing is Attack of the Clones, the last time I watched Attack of the Clones, I actually appreciated it a whole lot more. But it's got way too much green screen, way too much special effects in it. It looks like a cartoon half the time. And it doesn't complete its thoughts because George is like all over, he's random, all over, random. He is a great idea guy, all right? And that's the thing. George is the idea guy, but George has a very hard time with execution. And so this idea that George was going to do better with the Star Wars sequels, I don't believe it, because everything that's come out so far about George's vision for the Star Wars sequels was that he was going to have a bunch of teenagers again, a bunch of little kids fighting these battles and doing these things, and we were going to end up in the same place with like the young little Anakin Skywalker going, yippee, yay, wee, try spinning, that's a good move. We don't need that. I mean, one of the worst things that happened to Star Wars was seeing 10-year-old Darth Vader. They should have started out with Darth Vader as Anakin Skywalker as a teenager like he was in Episode 2. Because to see him as a 10-year-old, it takes away all of that mystique and all of that, and I've heard some people I know say, no, it makes it more of a tragedy. To me, it doesn't. It starts off at a place that it doesn't need to start off, and then you just added the fact that Jake Lloyd just wasn't that good of an actor at 10, and it should have been somebody else at least, and that makes it worse. And then the fact that Hayden Christensen is very wooden and stuff, but people have said it. Harrison Ford has said it time and time again. George has a hard time directing people. He does great with technology. He doesn't do so well with the people. And that's just a fact. It's a fact that a lot of Star Wars fans don't want to hear. And it's a fact that, because he's the creator, right? I mean, he created this. And so you got to give him props. And I do. And I just want everybody to know I love George Lucas and what he's done and what he's done for my life. Because it sounds silly, but I mean, I got a whole house full of stuff that's directly because of George Lucas right now. All right. And I've got a whole mess full of stuff in my mind because of that, right? Would you like to see an unaltered? So I have my old VHS tape still yet, and I've watched it. I want the boys to watch it because the boys have never seen the non-specialized editions, and I think that that's a mistake. I think that the specialized editions, when they first came out, they were a good idea. They were a fun idea for those of us who just wanted more Star Wars. That just wanted more something Star Wars because we had been starved for anything Star Wars for so long that we were just willing to accept anything. And there's some good things in the special editions that add to it. And then there's stuff that's just absolutely awful, like when George added the new music scene in Jabba's palace. That is so bad. I mean, with the lips flying towards the screen and whatever. That is just awful. It is so bad, it's painful. And so for anybody to sit there and go, George would have done so much better than Rian Johnson. George, the reality is that a lot of the ideas that ended up being fleshed out by J.J. Abrams were already there. Were stuff that George already talked about. George already talked about having a female protagonist who did very similar things to what Rey did, and just some of those things got changed around a little bit, just a little bit. So so it's hard. It really is hard to say exactly what would have been better. But honestly, I have not seen anything that as fact to show that George Lucas would have done better with the sequel trilogy than what has happened. And the thing is George wanted to kill off Luke as well. And, we can get into semantics about, when it should have happened or how it should have happened and everything. And so I take it as to watch a special edition. Exactly, right? I mean, because some of those parts, I mean, there's parts in episode 3 that are just brilliant. And then there's parts that just don't make any sense because it's like he doesn't finish his ideas. Like the whole thing with Qui-Gon at the end. How hard would it have been to put Qui-Gon Jinn there at the end where he's communicating with Yoda, which is what is insinuated. And instead, he thinks that he's doing this really cool cinematic thing to make us think, oh, Yoda's talking to him. But in reality, it's just weird and awkward because there's absolutely no establishing shot of the fact that Qui-Gon is there and that Yoda wants Obi-Wan to commune with Qui-Gon at all. And he just adds so many things like C-3PO was built by Anakin Skywalker. Really? Really? Come on. You know, like, did that really have to be in the movie? I don't think so. And you're going to tell me R2, whose mind was never wiped that entire time, was Darth Vader's droid and never says anything about it. It never comes up. That's rough, right? That's some really poor writing. And so I can't get on this bandwagon that says George Lucas would have done such a better job and that Rian Johnson's just so awful. Now I will give you this, and I will agree with people on this. Because of the damage that's been done and because of the way people have reacted to the Last Jedi, Rian Johnson should not do the next that trilogy that they've got him attached to doing. And I don't think it's because he's a horrible director or a horrible writer. I just think that right now I want Star Wars to survive, and I feel like Star Wars would take a huge hit if they go ahead and let him do that. And so I don't want to see that happen. I want to see Star Wars thrive and move forward. And so if that means that, you know what, so be it. That Rian Johnson's not involved in, you know, so be it, whatever it is. But I think that The Last Jedi, I want to see what The Last Jedi looks like after this next movie and how it plays out and how it looks. Because, yeah, I'm agreeing with you guys. I mean, Steven Spielberg, why hasn't Steven Spielberg directed a Star Wars movie? It seems like that's, you know, he was supposed to direct, I believe it was Return of the Jedi, and things happened that, you know, kept him from doing it. But I just don't know. I just have such a hard time with the backlash against The Last Jedi, because I feel like people got emotional about it and it just spiraled out of control, and at some point nobody could rein it back in, and then all of a sudden people were just saying like these horrible things about this movie that's really not as bad as people are making it out to be. Because I just watched it recently. I just watched it a couple of weeks ago, and it was great. I loved it. Is it a perfect movie? No, it's not a perfect movie at all. Could it have done without the big, you know, walrus-looking thing that, you know, he's getting the green milk from? Yeah, but in reality, is that just really just a callback to the blue milk? Yeah, I mean, he's a farmer, right? So there's a lot of things that I get it why people are frustrated, but I think that people like way overreacted. And here's the thing, I also watched Solo a couple of weeks ago as well.
I like that one a lot.
And here's what's a travesty about that is Solo is a good movie, and Solo didn't deserve to have the poor box office that it did. And I would actually like to see more adventures in that world and with those characters. And unfortunately, we're probably not going to see that just because people overreacted and didn't go to see it.
And especially since the card game Sabak.
Yeah.
I've actually liked that part of the movie a lot better because it's like now we know why Lando was cheating.
Yeah.
It gives it like that little bit more, of a meaning.
Has said the same thing that Caleb just texted.
Blue milk is canon, though.
He said the prequels ended up being what they were because Lucas surrounded himself with yes men. He was in a place in his career where he didn't want criticism, and that bit him in the butt. Yep,
absolutely. When you watch the behind the scenes stuff, and I think you may have just mentioned this, but if you watch the behind the scenes stuff from the prequels, you can see it because there's a bunch of young kids in you know, when they're making creatures and putting together scenes and everything, and it's just a bunch of young kids just happy to be working on a Star Wars movie. And you can tell it because George Lucas walks in the room and they're all like, well, what do you guys think of this? And then he's like, these kids are just like, oh yeah, oh Mr. Lucas, oh that's brilliant, oh yes, Mr. Lucas, and it's all yes men. That's what it is. It's all yes men is what it is. He didn't have anybody to tell him. Even Rick McCallum, who's his producer, who should have been the one to stand there and go, you know, George, you should rein it in a little bit with some of these ideas and some of this ridiculousness. Nobody did it because he financed the whole thing himself. He didn't even need 20th Century Fox. That's the crazy thing, was they had to literally bid on releasing the movie. that he could have taken that movie to anybody because he owned it all. You know, so it's just too much power, too much money, and you know, it is what it is. So that's why I don't fault Disney. I think that Disney has made some good movies. Disney has made yeah, I mean they did. They spent way too much money on Solo, and unfortunately they went through, you know, directors and issues there. But it's a good movie. I liked it. I liked it actually better than Rogue One. I'll be honest with you.
Me too.
You know, and I know that to some people that's a travesty because, but the thing was Rogue One to me never quite, like, it didn't have the emotional connection, right? Even though it was new people, that's fine. But it's like now they're talking about this Cassian Andor TV show. I don't need that. Who needs that?
One thing that my dad said about Rogue One not long after he saw it, and when he said it, I was like, yeah, that's kind of true. I really liked Rogue One, but it was like one of those movies where you have to pretty much see the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes to understand the whole plot of the movie.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Because the middle part is just getting everybody together.
Oops. TV popped back on. But no, yeah, I just... I'm sorry, I saw a comment here. Disney's had its fair share of failure and good, and I just the thing is, you know what? When I saw what I thought was the absolute worst Star Wars movie ever, when I watched Attack of the Clones in the theater, I didn't protest. I didn't say I'm never going to watch Star Wars again. I didn't say, yeah, it's boring, but it's interesting. Yeah. That's exactly it. It is what it is, right? And so when I walked out of that movie, I thought, okay, well, there's another one coming, so I'm gonna wait for that one. The difference is the mindset nowadays. It's unfortunate that the fandom has become so toxic, where now we're yelling and screaming and berating people for liking a movie. Like, seriously, like, if you say you like The Last Jedi, people will just jump down your throat about it. And that's not how it should be. We should just be able to go, okay, yeah, I didn't like that movie. You like that movie. Okay, well, I wonder what they're going to do next. Instead of, like, forming protests and, like, I'm not going to go see another Star Wars movie, or I'm not going to go see the next one because I'm going to send a message to Disney. Like
what we said about Captain Marvel earlier, there hasn't been a trailer that stuck, so we're not going to be like, oh yeah, we're not going to go see it. We're still going to go see it.
Yeah, I'm still going to go see it. It's just not a priority, and that's fine. If people were saying, you know what, I want to go see Solo, but I'm kind of like a little burnt after, you know, The Last Jedi, so, you know, I'm going to wait a little while. That's fine. But like these people who are like, I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to support it because it's Star Wars. Like, you know what that does is it puts us in the position of Disney now second guessing everything that they do, and that's why they start doing things like, we're going to pull the plug on all these movies, and that's why we're probably not going to get this Obi-Wan movie that would have been awesome to finally get an Obi-Wan movie, you know. So I don't know. That's my 2 cents about Star Wars. I love Star Wars. And I disagree with some of the more, you know, the people online who have more subscribers than me, but I don't think subscribers equals like reality sometimes. You know what I mean? I think it's really easy. I think sometimes there's many times that I feel like if I just got on here and spewed a bunch of stuff bad about Disney and Star Wars and bad about all the things that people spew about, that we'd have a lot more subscribers, and there'd be people who go, yeah, we believe just like you. But I think that sometimes it's the few, it's the minority that you know. I'm middle of the road here. I just say, look, I see the good, I see the bad, and then I'm ready for the next one. And I just want there to be more Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Okay, because the worst Star Wars movie is still better than no Star Wars movies.
I think I was telling my friend, I think it was yesterday, walking to our next class, I was like, I kind of get used to, like, seeing a Star Wars movie every winter.
Yeah.
Because it's like when we didn't get Solo, when we got it in the summer, I was like, oh man, we didn't get a Star Wars movie this winter.
I know.
It's like I kind of look forward to that at the end of every year, is looking forward to seeing a new Star Wars movie at the end.
It brings in the new year like a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. Soy based Jeremy. We can agree to disagree about movies, and that's fine. And that's why we made the Poindexter Lounge, because it's for everybody. This isn't a channel that's just for people who like a certain thing, or just like the movies that we like, or just like the TV shows that we like, or whatever. This is for everybody, because we can all have discussions, and I'm willing to listen to people's arguments as to why they didn't like something or whatever. And we can have a conversation about that, and there's been things that, I've changed my mind about. Yeah, I don't know all the stuff about Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers. I mean, I've watched his channel for sure, and I see some of his videos, and there's been some things that I agree with, him with like just his opinions. But I haven't seen some of this stuff that you're talking about here. That's happened to him or whatever. I don't know any of that firsthand. So, well, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, Soy-based Jeremy, because that's what I really think that it is, right? Like, because I agree.
It's a sounding board for everyone to say what they feel.
We need to heal. We as a fandom, we need to heal. It's why even like as a collector of Star Wars stuff, it's really hard for me as a collector right now of Star Wars stuff, because like even the collector angle of it is really toxic, with just the way people conduct themselves, with the way people just like jack up prices on everything, and and stuff. It just is what it is, and so we gotta get through it. And my hope is that J.J. Abrams closes out this trilogy in a way that works.
Especially with losing someone in real life and having to change up that storyline too.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad. It really is sad. I mean, I do think that there are changes that could have been made to The Last Jedi to make it better, and I just hope, pretty much any video that I see of Mike Zero, I just hope is wrong. Right? I mean, like, I hope that Rey and Kylo don't have a kid, and I hope that what? Raylo, yeah, and I hope that they don't get together. I kind of hope that there are some things that he does say that sometimes I do hope for, because like I would really like to see Snoke still alive.
Yep.
I'd like to see Snoke still alive somehow. But
Caleb said, I once saw a dude at Walmart hiding Last Jedi toys so people wouldn't buy them.
on that note, I got nothing to say about that, because I got a buddy who hides both DC and Star Wars stuff from me sometimes behind different things.
No, for him, it sounds like he's saying that they're hiding Last Jedi toys so people won't buy the toys.
So that not so.
Kind of emoji
so that they just wouldn't buy, so they can come back and buy them later.
So yeah, not to save them like we do.
See, and that's so that's the other thing too, is like, everybody's like talking about Star Wars is dead, Star Wars is dead, Star Wars is dead, nobody buys stuff. But it's like, okay, so the two things I like, I love DC and I love Star Wars. And here's the thing, that's what I collect. I'm sorry, but there's enough there's enough people buying all that stuff that Star Wars stuff is not dead. All right? Star Wars stuff is not dead, because I'm sorry, the only reason why you still see stuff on the shelves is because right now Mattel does not produce Star Wars toys correctly, because they don't produce enough of the stuff that people want, and they overproduce stuff that people don't want. And that's why you end up with problems like with The Force Awakens, where you got a million, billion, bajillion Constable Zuvio figures that doesn't even appear in the movie, and yet you can't find, it's really hard to find some of the figures that you do want, right?
Jeremy says, I'd like to see a Darth Sidious spin-off movie, but Isaac was going to say something too.
Go ahead.
Yeah, one part that I think could like help Star Wars, like in the video games part, is moving Star Wars away from EA, because EA is kind of like ruined the games.
But didn't they just announce that they're staying with EA?
Yeah, which people are saying that's probably going to hurt them, because Battlefront 1, that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Battlefront 2, that kind of like slowed everything down, is for a $60 game, you would expect to get like most of the things.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like it's a $60 like game where it should have been free to play. It's one of those games where you kept on grinding and grinding and grinding to get like the better stuff.
Gotcha.
And it's like one of those ones where it's like pay to advance.
Yeah.
If you don't want to waste the time, like spend the time to advance.
Yeah, I'm hoping for some good things this summer. That's all I can do. That's all I can do as a fan is hope for the best. I'm interested in the Mandalorian a little bit. I wish that it would have been a Boba Fett story instead of just some random Mandalorian.
Jeremy said EA has canceled Star Wars games.
I thought though that I could have swore that I saw something recently that said that they didn't cancel all of them, that they retained the license, but they canceled a Star Wars game that they were working on that was well into the process.
Yeah, because Battlefront's still fun. I think it looks really good, but it's just turned into one of those games where it's like it should have been free to play with the way that it's set up.
And honestly, that's just what I don't like about video games nowadays. I mean, that's what I like about old school video games, right? Is when you could sit down, play a video game and be done, or you could play a game and get through the game and like find stuff on your own and you know, instead of like you said, these microtransactions where you got to pay for stuff. Like no,
the non-online games are like that. How it's like you play it and you're done.
Yeah.
But it's like the online games is what. Like
yeah,
that.
it's just that's all too much for me. But like I said, I think the problem is with the toys for example, is that they ship a ton of like the ones that people really want, the hard to find ones, like there's like one in a box. So you get like this you know, horrible glut of like with Solo came out, right? So you get a ton of Han Solos. And you get or like when Rogue One came out, a ton of Jyn Ersos and Cassian Andor. Cassian. And nobody wants those figures, right? Like the people who want them, they get them. Why don't you even out the amount of the figure ratio, right? So that people, when they go out to go buy their figures, they get them. That's why, you know, the thing is people are still buying them because people are buying them on the aftermarket. People are having to go to eBay and all these other places and spend like 2, 3, 4 times the amount. Like they even tried to help with the Black Series stuff that I collect by re-releasing Black Series figures that were hard to find at first, right? That were part of the first waves of Black Series figures, and so they just released what was called the archive figures, which was they for some reason they re-released yet another X-wing Luke, and then they released a Boba Fett, an IG-88, and a Bosk. Now the big ones out of that was the Bosk. Because it's still pretty much easy to get a Boba Fett. You could still get an IG-88, but the Bosk had like at one point is over $100 to buy a Bosk action figure, the original in the black box. So they did these. They weren't in a box. They were on a card with a blister, and so it was different. And so these were they're still at the $20 price point, but they figured, hey, we'll give the fans this because the fans don't want to have to go out and spend $100 on a Bosk figure just to get a Bosk figure for their collection. I was one of those guys. I didn't have a Bosk because back in the time when that was there and out, I did not collect at the time. I was out of collecting there for a while, right? And so the thing was that then all of a sudden people started jacking up the prices on those figures. Those figures came out. I cannot find those figures. I have only found 2 Lukes in the stores. And it's not just because people are buying them, it's because scalpers are going and scalping them up, buying them all, and then trying to resell them on eBay for like twice as much, you know. And so like those Bosk figures that were supposed to be there for those collectors like me who didn't get in on the ground floor, now all of a sudden they were turning around and selling those for $60. So you tell me, if I have a chance to buy an original Bosk, which I did for $40, or buy one of those for $40 or $60, the retread, what am I going to buy? If I need that figure, if I want that figure. So that's, what was the question there, Tiffany?
Which one?
Soy-based Jeremy said something.
Said, should real life politics be in movies? No political correctness is killing Star Wars. Then Caleb said Battlefront 3 is rumored to be out late 2020, early 2021. Rumors say the story mode will be post episode 9. And then Skyfrost said, but someone dies next episode from... Dude, the next episode trailer is not the end.
Yeah.
And then,
as far as the politics question, I would just say this.
You definitely have different sides, like people's.
Yeah, there's different sides to it. I think there's good and bad. I don't like to see a bunch of politics in movies. I like to go see a movie and just enjoy it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, call me crazy. I like to just go see a movie and enjoy it. I don't, that's one of the reasons why I'm having a real hard time with Supergirl. And like, I'm having a real hard time enjoying it at all. And I've gotten to a point where I almost can't because they have ruined that show. They have pretty much ruined that show for me because everything is a political statement. And they're not trying to cover it up. They're not trying to hide it at all. They're putting it right out there that it's like, we don't care. We're gonna like shove this down your throat. And that's what I'm saying. Like when you look at Supergirl and you look at Star Wars is not being politically shoved down your throat. Supergirl is, for sure, right? And so, yeah, I like to escape reality too. I like to just have a fun time. That's one of the best things
that's why I love
about
Flash and Orville.
That's one of the best things, man, about The Empire Strikes Back and about the original trilogy was you didn't have that. You were able to transport yourself to a different world and just have fun. And so it's becoming harder and harder to do that, it seems like nowadays. And I will give you that. Hollywood needs to back off with that stuff. Hollywood needs to back off with trying to force everybody to think the same way, feel the same way, believe the same way, and let people just be who they are, What was that?
After I escape reality, it says louder made me go to Middle Earth.
Yes, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, yeah. So that's what I think. I think there was a question about the actual show, The Flash, that we were just watching, wasn't there?
I can stream this episode live. I don't know anywhere you can stream it live. I know places where you can watch it like hours after.
Yeah. So if you download the CW app, you can watch it tomorrow. So it'll be out tomorrow. If you download the CW app, then you can watch The Flash tomorrow.
It's on the app and on the CW website.
Yep. So you can do that. All right, guys. Well, hey, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was fun talking with you all. I always appreciate our conversations and love I love the Talk Nerdy to Me segment because I love the fact that we get into these discussions about some other things and
anything and everything.
Yeah, and
We
so
started with Captain Marvel, then to Shazam, then the Star Wars.
Absolutely. All right, guys. All I can say is keep loving the stuff that you love, and and just enjoy the good stuff, man. And just remember that what. If you don't like something now, it's like Michigan weather. We always joke here in Michigan, says if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes because it'll change. And that's the same way it is with movies and TV shows. If you don't like what you're seeing, just wait a little while. It'll change. They'll get it. They'll get it together. But don't ruin what you got, I guess, is what I would say. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching The Flash with us tonight. We had a good time with you. And there's a new episode of The Orville this week?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, guys. So we will see you Thursday night for the follow-up to the amazing two-parter of The Orville. All right, guys.
9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
That's right, 9 o'clock. All right, guys. So be safe. Have a great night. And we love each and every one of you. Tell somebody about the channel this week. And also, if you see that I double up on one of our Michigan is bipolar. If you see this week,
I'm waiting for a snowstorm with lightning behind it. That's what I'm waiting for.
and let's just all if we're gonna fight anybody, let's fight the real villains.
Yes.
WB for trying to copyright claim every stinking video that has anything in it. All right, guys. Until next time, I'm Enosh, a.k.a. Enosh Fett, along with the lovely
Tiftastic.
and, of course, this guy.
Isaac Juan Kenobi.
Just saying, may the force be with you. Keep running, Barry, and all those other taglines that have to do with the stuff that we love. All right, guys. We'll see you guys later.